Happy new financial year. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you my top 7 deductions so you can get a bigger tax refund this financial year. Hi guys, my name is Michael and I'm an accountant from Australia. Before we move into my top 7 tax tips, I just want to disclaim that you should consult your tax agent if you're unsure about your eligibility to claim any of the following deductions. If you don't have a tax agent, leave a comment below and I will do my best to help you out. So my biggest tip for helping you get a bigger tax refund this year is just to like and subscribe on this video. Otherwise, you're going to get audited by the ATO and get doomed to pay the highest tax bracket for the rest of your life. Okay, so my first tip, and probably the biggest this tax year, is the immediate deduction for any assets purchased. The technical term for this is temporary full expensing, and these rules allow a business with a turnover of less than $5 billion to immediately deduct the business portion of the cost of any new eligible depreciating assets. This applies to any assets that were first installed and ready to use between 6th of October 2020 and 30th of June 2022. So if you are running a business and you bought any assets during the year, you can claim the full amount of the business portion as a full tax deduction this year. However, it's important to note this is only for businesses. So if you're just an employee and you only receive a wage or a salary, you're not able to make the most of this rule. However, if you do have a small business or a side hustle, you can use these temporary full expensing rules. If you want to learn a little bit more about temporary full expensing, I've done a whole video that covers what you can and what you can't claim. Just click on screen now. The second tax tip is the low and middle income tax offset. This isn't technically a deduction, it's more of a tax credit, but the government will literally give you up to $1,080 to go towards your tax return. To be eligible for this, you must be making between $37,000 and $126,000. If you're somewhere between that, you will receive some of this. If you're at the smaller end, you'll receive more. If you're at the bigger end, you'll receive less. The third tax deduction, which is going to be a big one this year, is for home office expenses. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, lots of people have been forced to work from home at some point during the year. So the ATO came up with a shortcut way that you can claim a massive deduction. This is called the shortcut method, where you can claim 80 cents for every hour that you worked from home between 1st of March 2020 and 30th of June 2021. However, the downside of this shortcut method is that it covers all of your home office expenses, including phone, internet, depreciation, electricity, and gas. So if you spend a lot towards those categories I just mentioned, you may be better off using the actual cost method. This is where you work out what you actually spent and multiply that by the area of your home that is dedicated to being your home office. This is a lot more work and requires a lot more substantiation, but if you spend a lot on your occupancy expenses, the work is probably worth your while. The fourth tax tip is all to do with your actual work expenses. You can get creative in this area, but as long as you can substantiate that the money that you spent towards these deductions actually helped you earn your income, you can claim it as a tax deduction. The ATO are watching this area closely, but if you can substantiate a direct correlation, you should go and claim it. Some common examples are things like sunglasses, sunscreen, and hats if you work outside like a teacher or a tradesperson. And you can get creative in some areas, such as if you're required to carry a laptop for work. Maybe you can claim a handbag as a tax deduction if that handbag is specifically designed for holding laptops. Basically what I'm saying is get creative with how you look at your expenses and the things that you buy during the year, and if you genuinely use them for work purposes, then maybe consider claiming them as tax deductions. But here in Australia, our tax system is all about self-assessment, so just be careful. If you claim too much, you may be audited. My fifth tax tip is that donations are actually tax deductible. People forget that you can actually claim a tax deduction for most of the donations that you give. However, it is important to check that the organization you donated to is endorsed as a deductible gift recipient. You do this by going to a website called ABN Lookup. You then type in the organization's name or their ABN, and then look for their deductible gift recipient status. If they are endorsed as a deductible gift recipient, you're allowed to claim your donation as a tax deduction. However, if they're not endorsed as a DGR, you cannot claim the tax deduction. Pretty simple. The sixth tax deduction is for motor vehicle expenses. If you use your car for work, you're able to claim a percentage of all the costs of running your car as a tax deduction. So that includes fuel, services and repairs, car washes, insurance, registration, interest, and even lease payments. However, to be able to use this actual cost method, you need to have a valid logbook. To have a valid logbook, you must have recorded 12 weeks of every single car trip that you made and whether or not that car trip was for private reasons or for work reasons. Again, this method is a lot of work. 12 weeks straight is a lot to remember. However, our logbook is valid for 5 years. So if you do it once now, as long as your motor vehicle usage doesn't change, that logbook is valid for 5 years. If this all sounds too complicated, you can also just use the cents per kilometer method, where you estimate the kilometers that you drove for work purposes this financial year up to a maximum of 5,000 and multiply that by 72 cents to get your motor vehicle deduction. The seventh and final tax tip for this video is for clothing and laundry expenses. If you're required to buy or wear specific clothing for your occupation, you may be able to claim those expenses. There are two main categories for clothing: occupation specific and protective. Occupation specific clothing is any clothing that would identify you in public as being that specific occupation. For example, a nurse may be able to claim a deduction for buying their scrubs, and a judge may be able to claim a deduction for their robes. Protective clothing is another big one, and this covers anything that's high vis or just protective in nature, such as steel capped boots or UV specific clothing. You're also able to claim any money that you spent on washing and repairing these items of clothing if eligible. You're not required to keep written evidence such as diary entries or receipts if what you claim for your laundry expenses is less than $150. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you learned something new, please consider liking and subscribing, and comment below your creative tax deduction.